in a positive way in your life. Nicknamed the Velvet Hammer for my direct honesty with soft wordage, and a reader well established in the spiritual community, join me for Achieve TV every Wednesday on your concerns, what's making you feel blocked, career, love, romance, and angel message readings. Just click on the little Achieve Rainbow TV on achieveradio.com homepage and watch your reading live as it happens. The number to call in to the Pink Chakra Psychic Line is 888-235-7374.
Psychic radio, holistic radio, spiritual radio. This is achieveradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Hi, everybody. This is Anne Marie, and I am happy that autumn is here. I'm enjoying the golden leaves falling, and it's been a wonderful windy day, and there's just something very hypnotizing about watching the leaves blow in the wind. I kind of like to think about each of those leaves being a concern or a dysfunction or a issue that is blowing away out of my life. There are two kinds of leaf people. I am a woodsy person, so I love sweaters and warm jackets and soft cuddly things. I love autumn leaves. But there are those that, as I'm admiring my leaves, are looking with anger at my leaves, and they're in the meanwhile on their lawnmowers rushing around, making sure that all of their grass looks like emerald Easter egg grass, which to me at this point, green is beautiful for frogs, it's beautiful for summer, it's beautiful for spring. But gosh, in the Midwest or in the cool country, it's that time of year where green can be brought in the house, in a house plant. But outside, I really don't care anymore. Let all plants just turn into big old dry bushes. I am through. I am done, and I'm loving it. But it gets me inspired. I have made changes to the studio, and so now I'm getting matching color schemes of clematis vines that go with the house. So while I'm saying that I love my leaves, and I do for different reasons. One, leaves hide the smell of tulip bulbs. And if you've got a lot of squirrels, they are looking for those bulbs. I suppose deer as well. And the leaves cover the scent and aroma. And I mean, when I look at the leaf piles over my perennials and my bulbs, it's about, I'm going to say that deep. And some of it blows away, but there's always a surplus left. And the other thing is it makes great insulation around outdoor pet houses and things. We always have a cubicle or two, an igloo or two around for whatever stray cat or something wants to hide out in the winter or during an ice storm before it takes off again. And so I make sure that I pile lots and lots of leaves around the houses so that they can have that warmth. But other than that, I am ready to give you readings today. My number, or the number of achieved that you would call in, is, oh my goodness, it's 602 666 6027 602 602 666 6027. And you can go to the video and in quick a question on the side of the video, or you can even go to the Studio A or at Achieve Radio or at Live Video, and you can also send your question there. So I do know that um, there are a couple of subjects that I love about autumn. Why are you attracted to the sweater, your favorite sweater, those cold winter people? What is it about that sweater? What does it say about you? We're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss some tips on how to beat the grog, the fog that we may feel as we set our clocks back an hour and all of our scheduling gets thrown off again. I do want to say hello to Sunny and Lena. I will get to you. Hello to Anita, who is in the board and again in the phone room. And remember, when you call that number, 602 666 6027, I can hear your voice. I can be able to give you a quality reading that you would get if you were paying me for a personal reading, but you're getting it for free, right? So it's really awesome. And you can just see the difference between inquicking your question, which I appreciate, as well as calling that number. I'm going to start by first discussing what it is about your sweater that it says about you. And it says you open your closet door and you count 30 sweaters. Now, how did you end up collecting that many sweaters? I know every autumn I go and I check on the online, and lately I have really been into Iran home knit sweaters. They're spendy, but oh my Lord, they're so thick and they're so quality. And they have the most amazing capes and sweaters. So you have long sweaters and short sweaters and polka dotted sweaters and expensive sweaters and cheap saggy sweaters. I tend to love my cheap saggy sweaters. And you have sweaters that have 2-year-old stains on them from coffee. And you have sweaters that you never wear. And the tag is still attached. So, what does this small harem of sweaters say about you, okay? If you like polka dotted sweaters, and I do love polka dots sometimes, especially if the polka dots are multicolored and ugly. The polka dotted sweater was most likely gifted to you by a member of your family that doesn't understand your fashion taste at all. Or maybe you bought the sweater because it was on clearance and you like to collect clothing on clearance for the just in case occasion when you run out of sweaters, even though you own over 45. The polka dot sweater that you wear during the holidays because it was the only festive thing in your closet, or because that ugly sweater is the one that your family member gave you, and you want to be sure that you're wearing it to show appreciation during the holidays. Or maybe you're a middle aged lady that just adopted her seventh cat and wants to wear clothing that will wake up her wardrobe. Okay, now I have a thing with that. I'm middle aged and I have over seven cats, but I love clothing that I can wear going out. Being a cat woman, I am saying this in defense of cat ladies. Cat ladies are not misfits. Cat ladies, dog people, are people that love animals or rescue animals. And lots of times they do have funky sweaters with stains on them, but they also have great things when they run away from their animals. That we don't just live in a house with our animals all the time. So, okay, we'll let this one go. um, how about the striped sweater? I kind of like stripes. It's not just a SpongeBob song or a Freddy Krueger fashion hack. It's also maybe the sweater you wore when you were going out, even though it is worn out. It's the sweater that only looks cute and hangs weird off your shoulder for stylish purposes. It's the sweater you take selfies in inside your bohemian style apartment. Hello. Yes, I just bought a striped sweater at Buckle 2 years ago, and I love it. It goes great with my probably already out sequence jeans that have the Dreamcatcher sequence on the butt pockets, but I wear it with my striped sweater. Okay. So lots of times striped sweaters are made of wool and very itchy, and instead of wearing your itchy knitted sweater, you decide to shiver to death, but not for too long. You spot a cute striped sweater at your local Neiman Marcus and purchase the cute sweater at a cute price of $254. It's all right. You wore it 4 times, and all during summer in 85 degrees wet temperatures. Now, this is like that place I was telling you, Iran sweaters, where they're all beautiful quality. They're Irish sweaters and they're not striped and they're not polka dotted, but they are beautiful colors, neutral colors, and their quality. Okay, how about the grandma cardigan sweater? Okay, guys, I have a grandma cardigan sweater, and it's a long one that goes down to about the middle of my calves. I don't think that they're necessarily out of style. I feel like I'm defending myself about my style of clothing. Speaking of receiving gifts from your grandmother, she probably wears a cardigan sweater. This person obviously does not realize that they are the new fashion statement because I've been looking. A long button down bright yellow cardigan sweater with flower patterns and embellished pom poms. No, 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 no. We're not going to go there. This is probably the same type of sweater you wore back in elementary school in the early 90s to go with your Lisa Frank backpack. The bright cotton candy pink one that you wore over your white turtleneck during yearbook photo day. This is the sweater you wear while you lug around your typewriter at your favorite coffee shop to look like a sophisticated writer with your oversized fake glasses. Do you get the feeling this person that wrote this blog has an anger issue? The sweater you wear during a rainy day while you play the Smiths on repeat. You probably wore this sweater back when you were in college in the late 90s. You hang out your literary snob friends at a party, and your friend Douglas wears his dark green turtleneck and denim jeans with his favorite J.C. Penney black belt while you wore the exact same thing but with your burnt orange granny cardigan. uh-uh. How about I have a beautiful cream colored turtleneck and I got it from two friends that closed their gift shop and it is my favorite sweater. Um, it's the sweater that brings you memories and keeps you comfy while at the same time makes you look like a 56-year-old that lives in a large Victorian house with a cat named Barry. Hmm, interesting. Oversized sweaters. I like oversized sweaters. I like oversized flannel shirts. I liked oversized denim. Oversized sweaters are the sweaters that you wear when you purposely buy a sweater that is 10 sizes too large and you look like you are wearing a curtain. The sweater drapes past your knees as the oversized sweater engulfs you. The only thing that is visible is the top half of your face, your feet, and your ankles. This is the sweater you wear that has stood years upon years of stretching and harsh machine washing, and now it looks like stretched gum. At that point, you are no longer wearing the sweater. The sweater is wearing you. You don't mind as you believe oversized sweaters are in and the way it awkwardly hangs on you makes you stand out. Suddenly, you are a fashion know it all. Oh my goodness. You either purposely wear oversized clothing, wear sizes that will fit snugly on a jock, but will swallow you whole when you small self wears one. Another option is to not buy overpriced, oversized sweaters and simply ask your jock brother to stretch the crap out of your sweater and machine wash it every day until the fabric gives up and transforms into something unrecognizable. That's something being the oversized sweater. How about sweater vests? Sweater vests, the sweater that screams, I play golf at the local country club, or I attend a posh Connecticut preparatory school, or the sweater you wear to let the world know of your rite of passage, the sweater you wear when you're done with college. You can kick back, think about retirement, and begin wearing retired dad clothing. Or maybe you are neither of those things above. You are a young person that moves to a new city, to a brownstone near downtown, next to your favorite bump hipster coffee shop, and listen to indie pop music while wearing a fedora, a black sweater vest, and a button down silk shirt. Or maybe you are one of those bearded guys that probably works at a UX designer at some Silicon Valley startup. You rock a side fade and rub your beard with the highest quality lavender scented beard oil. All of your profile pictures are of you in a side or a three-fourth portrait view with a dramatic black background wearing your posh sweater vest. Or maybe you wear sweater vest because you want your arms to roam free or something like that, not sure. So all of these things are things that your sweater in fun can say about you as a person. And that's okay. Maybe your sweater is a liar and doesn't know you as a person. And therefore all of this rambling and sarcasm means nothing. It's okay. Either way, there's a sweater for you, whether you like sweaters or not. I'm going to add something to this. I love certain sweater colors. And it is my belief that certain colors of sweaters, whether they have polka dots, whether they have stripes, whether they're plain, we are attracted to certain colors of sweaters in our closet. I believe that when I am feeling very okay, maybe I feel creative and I feel like the writer is coming out of me. I wear the cream colored turtleneck. Other times, and it's also a very good background for cool necklaces. Everything shows up on this beige turtleneck sweater. There is also a sense that I see that chakra colors are very much relevant to the mood we are in when we pick a sweater. For instance, perhaps a red or a deep uh, burgundy sweater says that you're feeling very family that day. You're feeling earthy and you feel like kicking back that day with family or a sister. Maybe you are wearing an orange sweater or a burnt orange sweater, or maybe it is a bright orange sweater. That would indicate that you're in the mood of lessening anxiety. Sometimes reverse psychology is wearing a color that is exactly matching what some would think is high strung, but like Ritalin for children that are hyper, that that bright sweater actually calms you down or neutralizes you. How about a gold sweater? A beautiful organic gold sweater would be the color of your solar plexus, intuition. Maybe you're feeling very reflective that day. You're feeling positive about financial or life choices that you want to make. Or how about if you want a blue sweater, the color of the throat chakra? Maybe that day you're going to be hanging out with friends, having great lively conversation, or maybe you're going to be speaking in some kind of event and you want to be able to have that throat light blue throat chakra that just kind of opens you up. What about the indigo sweater, the purple sweater? Maybe you're feeling very psychic. Maybe you're feeling very reflective. Maybe you're needing to be able to shield your energy that day. That would be a beautiful color that maybe you're attracted to. And lots of times these sweaters that represent our chakra colors we may not even know why. And lastly, the first chakra, which is your bright white. What about that pure as driven snow, white, purity? Maybe you are just feeling cleansed that day and pure and free of or wanting to be free. Again, psychological colors can be opposite. Or so even if we feel bad, we may want to wear a white sweater to be able to neutralize or give us a feeling of purity or to clear the slate. And that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, we're going to go into the room. Um, I'm going to have Anita. Hello, Anita. How are you today? And thank you for calling.
Oh, hi. I was surprised you got me
Ah,
first.
well,
I
yeah.
Thank you, sweetie.
How are you?
I was just
You're welcome.
wanting a tarot reading. There's a lot
All
going
right, shall
on,
I give
but
you just a
let's see
general?
what you can
Shall
pick
I
up
give you
on.
just a general? All right.
Yes, please.
So I'll give you an Anne Marie Odell tune-up, what I call spiritual tune-up reading. Okay. So here's what your comes up, and I'll have you say your first name,
Anita,
and then say it again.
Anita,
Thank you. And then one more time.
Anita.
So when I look at the energy that comes, the frequency from your name today, and the first thing that comes up, you will be excited to know, is magnetism. It says for whatever reason, today is a day that you actually resonate with a little bit of a higher vibration that could be very attractive and magnetize to you what you need. It says in the past 2 days or possibly 2 weeks, you have been giving off the frequency of honesty, and I think you've been open and generous with your energy or your thoughts or what you tell people. And of course, honest people always attract honesty back. Now, your reading says, watch out for getting impatient in December. Watch out for going faster than is appropriate in a decision, whether it's got to do with relocation, a job, whatever, because it could very well be that if you make a rash decision in December, it will not pay off for you in January. And therefore, your reading says, truly magnetize to you different options, but don't jump into something until you've thoroughly researched it. Otherwise, what you might do is burn your own bridge. Now, I didn't mean to get negative on that, but we're going to look at what that's all about. So say your first name again.
Anita.
hmm And then one more time.
Anita.
One more time, babe. Thank you, babe.
Anita.
Yep, you're doing good. I'm pulling my table here. And so when I look at what comes up on you today, Anita, in your more in-depth reading, again, your reading said that you represent um, a higher energy frequency today. And what represents you today is the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is usually very loving, peaceful, and she's somebody that I feel has creative potential. Watch out for huge changes that will be coming into your life. This may be by a disruptor, somebody who does not see on the same plane as you do, um, and that this seems to happen beginning in December, as we said. Your reading says if you feel like you need to jump off the shelf and get out of stagnancy, or you feel like you need to walk away from something, then your reading says probably you should do it because it says you went into kind of a stagnant part of your life in maybe, the last few months. Do not think that somebody's going to chase after you or stop you if you do leave a situation that's feeling stagnant. That is not going to happen. Your reading says that you need to understand that if you get off the shelf, if you decide to move on, then it says your next course of action that it says you're more likely to do is go towards family. And if you do that, make sure that you realize that along with family comes depression. How does this relate to your last reading? If you remember your last reading, it said that you are very magnetic and you're attracting to you great things right now. But if you jump the gun and make a decision, you may burn your own bridge by doing that decision without thoroughly reading your own intentions or really thinking things through. It is my belief that what you may do is go towards family. And if you do that, don't forget that there were issues concerning your family which will return back into your life if you go that direction. Your reading says the last thing you want is more anxiety in your life right now. And that your reading says truly it is time to take your bitch pill. It's time to toughen up. Your reading says that you, on one hand, want a new adventure in your life, change, excitement, things that you can look forward to that will better your life. On the other hand, you also, for whatever reason, sometimes find that you're drawn to fast fixes that often can sometimes sabotage you. So, in conclusion, Anita, your reading says, and interestingly, the lovers is seen. Your reading shows that there is huge changes coming this year, as well as a lover in June that seems to be very positive for your life. I would say make no choices if you can at all just kind of hunker down. Wait until you feel that you've researched your choices. If you're going to go towards family, think twice. There may be issues concerning family that may drain you or put you in a state of depression. But I do have to tell you that things are looking hopeful for you, very hopeful, and that I am showing a life partner for you in June. And I'm shown that you are going to see good changes as long as you remember the future is changeable according to your wise actions. You always have free will, but remember, you also have free will to screw things up. So be able to think very closely and carefully about the decisions you're going to make. All right? And I have to go.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks,
Have a good
Anita.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Blessings. All right. So we have Lena and Sunny. And Sunny wants to know, do you see if there is a successful change in my career? You know, it always baffles me why people want me to know somehow how to read their mind. You have to give me the name of your career or tell me what is in your um, career uh, direction that you want for me to look at. I am not going to answer that question specifically because you have not given me enough information, Sunny. I will, however, give you a 6-month financial review. So, Sunny, I'm looking at your name and I'm going to say your name 3 times. Sunny, Sunny, and Sunny. We're going to give you a financial reading. Here we go. Okay, we have November, December, January, February, and March. Sunny, what I have for November shows uh, your money situation is tight right now. You're going to see better finances in December, but be very careful because what is bringing you a resurgence of business or career satisfaction may not be long lasting. Therefore, it says in January, excuse me, in January, be very cautious that you realize your attitude has to be of confidence. Walk as if you're wearing diamonds on your feet. People are like chickens. If they see that somebody is down, they're going to pick on you like a sick chicken. That's what chickens do often. They pick, and cats, and even dogs. They often go after the the one that is, let's say, what is that called? When you have alpha and you have omega. When you act omega, when you act downtrodden, when you act insecure, people will not hire you. People will not believe you, and people will not give you a break because they the way that cruelty of people so often is, and I'm not saying people are all cruel, but the psychology of many people is that they believe that if somebody has a blustery big talk, they must be perfect. They must be dependable. But if someone has a soft, somewhat understated, somewhat meek voice or attitude, the the same people that judge leadership by how much someone struts are going to think that those that are not acting that way have a problem. something that they're hiding. So whatever you do, walk like you're wearing diamonds, even if you're not. Walk like you're wearing a fan on your hat and you've got your hair blowing behind you. The most important thing I see is that you will see a resurgence in career and financial stability, but it is not going to spring. Be very cautious with your money and where you put it. Understand that nobody makes money unless they spend money on marketing, on things to better or improve what their career is. But also know that you have to be very cautious that when you're broke, you don't go more broke by spending money you don't have. So I'm shown, Sunny, um, April 2022, stability will come back into your finances, and I can only imagine that your career will blossom that time. And that's what I have. All right, we have one more, and that's Lena. And Lena says, may I please have a general reading? And Lena's from Tennessee. Yes, Lena. Lena, since you're not giving me your voice, I have to just say it myself. But I'm just going to say it looking at your name written out like I would email reading. So I'm looking at Lena and looking at and saying Lena and looking at her written name. And I'm trying to pull energy a third time from her written name, Lena. Lena, when I look at your energy, it says you have really been feeling like life has been like a boomerang or like a seesaw. It shows it goes from stagnant to suddenly everything seems open and it's all 100% go, go, go. And then it falls back into people that you can't necessarily trust because they made promises they aren't keeping. And then it goes back into up again into big communication. And it says starting in um, February, March, you're going to see people that are more flexible, more communicate more effectively, and they stick to their promises to you. So let's do a little more in in depth on that, Lena. So Lena, when I look at what was that all about, what did your reading just say? What did it mean? And when I look at that, it says, you have been feeling impulsive lately. Lately, you feel like rather than deal with nothing at all, anything is better than nothing. But your reading says learn your lesson when that starts happening in your mind, because what happens as a result is that often you find that impulsiveness brings back dysfunction rather than consistency in the good stuff. Your reading shows in the last 9 months, you seem to be hunkering down in a more committed home or career or something that was actually seen as quite stable. Your reading says, do understand what you choose for the future needs to be in that energy level, that vibration of stability. You need that. You're the kind of person that needs to have stability, traditional type home career dynamics. Your reading says also that in the future, watch out for people who say they're going to help you out and then they just sit there. And that would go for online dating, that would go for partners that seem to be allowing you to do everything and say they're going to get around to things and then they don't. Lena, your reading says one thing you don't want is anybody trying to tell you what to do or trying to control you. Your reading also says that you are a philosopher at heart. You are wandering somehow the universe, looking for a light, looking for something that's going to register with you and give you meaning as to why you're even here or why things are happening the way they are. Your reading says, but what you really want is going back to square one, anything rather than stagnation, action rather than boredom. And right now it says you'll even take action that has some drama to it, some conflict with it. But your reading says, again, learn your lesson about this. Understand that underneath the surface of impulsive choices is depression. When you start to feel that you're impulsively wanting to take action on something, it's because you're suffering from depression. And if you feel that you go into swings of up and down and up and down, maybe that's just a sense of seasonal depression. Maybe it's bipolar. It could be any number of reasons that are creating that depression. But the one thing your reading says is your indication to be very, very careful that you're not reacting emotionally, because depression is when you want to make an impulsive action or move that makes no sense at all. When you've got stability, watch out for that. That's a big sign that you're thinking not from your common sense, but from a state of depression. And that's what I have. All right, Lena, thank you so much for letting me read for you. So it looks good as long as you remember that, and that we all have ways of dealing with depression. Some of us shop online. Some of us buy new cars. Some of us uh, run to thrift shops and buy 10 outfits that would have cost the cost of one quality outfit, but quantity made us feel rich. We all have ways of dealing with our depressions, and seasonal depression is very strong right now. I'm going to end the show early, and I'm going to end it with daylight savings and how to deal some tips for your health and wellness during this time when it's so hard for some to have to deal with jumping back or jumping forward and completely disrupting our time clocks. So, moving the clock forward 1 hour in the spring and back 1 hour in the fall, it doesn't just affect your schedule, it throws off your body's internal clock. It's dark, it's light at different times, and our bodies are going, wait a minute, I got to have that extra hour of sleep. It's still dark. The hour of sleep that's lost or gained can leave you feeling groggy and irritable, and it can also be dangerous. Studies have found that heart attacks and fatal car accidents increase during daylight savings time. In a nation that is already sleep deprived from type A behavior, losing an extra hour can make a huge impact, says sleep specialist Harnett Walla, MD. So adjusting to time changes is different for everyone. Some people adjust in a few days. For others, it takes more time. But for your health and safety, there is some tips for dealing with time change. One, prepare a few days early. It's too late now, but maybe before the next time change, about a week before springing forward, for instance, recommends that you start going to bed 15 to 30 minutes earlier than your usual bedtime. Stick to your normal schedule. Be consistent with eating, your social life, bed and exercises during the transition to daylight saving time. Exposing yourself to the bright light in the morning will also help you adjust. Don't take long naps. Shutting your eyes midday is tempting, especially if you're feeling sluggish. But avoiding naps is a big key for adjusting to the time change, as long daytime naps make it harder for you to get a full night's sleep. If you have to take them early and no longer than 20 minutes. Here's a hard one for me. Avoid coffee and alcohol. I can do without that, but my coffee. Put down coffee and caffeinated beverages 4 to 6 hours before bedtime. Alcohol prohibits you from getting quality sleep, so avoid it late at night. Some good habits for good sleep. Bedtime routines aren't just for kids, it's also important for adults to establish good sleep hygiene habits. Before bed, slow your body down. Raising your body's core temperature can make it harder to sleep, so avoid heavy workouts within a few hours of bedtime. Put your phone, computer, or tablet away. Turn off the television and pick up a non-suspenseful book. Electronics, high-intensity light stimulate brain and hinders melatonin, a hormone which triggers sleepiness. Stay consistent with the amount of sleep you get every night, and that includes weekends. You know, my husband and I, he likes 4 hours, 5 hours sleep. I like 6 to 7 hours sleep. But I do know that if it's consistent 4 hour, 5 hours of sleep for him, he does just fine. And for myself, it's the same thing. So just consistency works great too. Hey guys, thank you so much for being with me, and I hope to have some. I do want to apologize. I had a guest last week, but she was down with COVID. She was in the hospital, and I did not have a chance to interview her, but that is coming up. I hope to interview Bear Medicine Walker coming up. I hope to, in my sister, Brass Ovary sister, Adrienne Austin, I hope to have in the future. I hope to have Eric Linter, the national astrologer. But it's getting back to being on live, and I will try to be more live from now on. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me today. I appreciate you. And remember, uh, you've got to just choose a sweater, and don't let anybody call you frumpy because you've got a lot of cats. And don't let anybody call you old because of your sweater. You know what? Screw them. That's what I say, screw them. Wear what you want. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.